Anything else?
I should meet with Smith today, if that's all right with you.
I wasn't aware she'd requested to see a psych.
It is usual procedure after a tough sentencing.
I determine procedure here, Miss Westfall.
Of course, but I think you might be overlooking something.
What would that be?
The board gave me pretty clear KPIs on the prisoner's mental health. I hope you don't intend to obstruct that brief.
You can't have it both ways, Miss Westfall. If you wish to be a member of my team, you'll be reporting to me.
Certainly. So may I proceed?
Be very cautious, Miss Smith. She is a manipulator.
Oh, don't worry, Governor. It's at the forefront of my mind. I'm trained to deal with all types, even those who appear to have their shit together. Can I speak with her?
No.
I want to understand where that aggression's coming from.
Well, I'll tell you where it's coming from. She is a convicted criminal. She threw a pan of boiling oil in somebody's face. She's a drug dealer and a violent delinquent. She is beyond help.
Oh, I disagree. I think there's something else going on.
Your opinion is irrelevant.
The department doesn't think so.
Early days.
How long will she be in there for?
As long as I see fit. Well, that is quite a story.
Yes, it sounds ridiculous.
It's because it is ridiculous, and it is getting more... I do not understand why you're entertaining this. I mean, you do realize that falsely accusing corrections personnel, that carries very serious consequences, yes? Was there something else?
The LSD in her system causes psychosis, but she's come down now, so I think she is ready for release from the psych unit.
I appreciate your opinion.
Meaning you're ignoring it. You can't keep her restrained indefinitely.
If these delusions persist, she may have to be moved to a proper psychiatric facility.
Right, I could take this to the board, you know. They will listen to me.
Well, if you enjoy the paperwork so much, by all means, go ahead. Frankie Doyle. Her parole hearing is in a matter of weeks. No doubt you are aware of the rumors that have been circulating.
I pay no attention to gossip, Governor.
As a rule, neither do I, but when it comes to incorrect relations between staff and prisoners, I can't afford to ignore it.
There's no truth to it.
I'm merely concerned that Doyle might be exploiting this to influence your report on her.
I'm confident she won't. And people are drawn to her because of it.
Does that include you?
I think I've answered that question, Governor. Is that all?
I see here you had recommended she be released back into general.
Yes, she seemed ready. She was keen to get back to the other women.
So this has come as a surprise to you?
Yes, it has.
I'm merely trying to understand how you got it so wrong.
The psych staff said you paid her a visit earlier this morning.
Yes, I did.
And how was she?
Well, she certainly didn't present as ready for release. She seemed quite agitated, of all things, about the way she looked. I mean, perhaps trying to destroy her vision as a way of coping with that?
Well, it is possible your visit prompted her to self-harm. If she's progressing well, and then you step in and pay her a visit.
I have been checking in on Spiteri regularly and without incidents.
How often?
Most days, time permitting.
I can't imagine how stressed that would have made her feel.
She's in my care, and I am concerned for her. And as the facts bear out, with good reason.
She's just brought serious charges against you. Your concerns could quite as easily be interpreted as intimidation.
I am merely trying to do my job, Miss Westfall. I suggest you do yours. In your report, make sure you include her recommendation on Spiteri. I mean, it's borderline criminal negligence, the way she missed the signs.
Your psych assessment was done at Sinclair. I can consult with you if you're having trouble adjusting, though. Are you having trouble adjusting, Joan?
How's Frankie?
I'm afraid I wouldn't know.
I can smell her on you. Tell her I said hello.
Yeah. How are you today, Joan?
I'll feel better when I move into general.
Yes, that's what I'm here to discuss. The governor has asked me to assess your readiness for general from a psychological viewpoint.
Obviously.
I understand it must be quite boring here for you.
It's an isolation unit. There is no stimulation whatsoever.
You're not concerned about the risk to yourself, physically, from the other prisoners in general?
Not at all.
And why is that?
It's not obvious to you?
Because you're superior?
Yes. You're not assessing, you're scoring.
Well, it's all part of it, I'm afraid, Joan. Can we continue?
Tell you what, you ask me a question and then I'll ask you one. Quid pro quo.
You know, that's not how it works, Joan.
I'll start. You had some free moves already. What was your favourite childhood game? All right. Is there anything you've never told your parents? Have you ever been raped?
I'm not answering any of your questions.
You just did. Now, I understand your reluctance to play. It's a bit close to the bone. What if I ask you about somebody else? Vera, for example. What's your opinion of her? Really? Your professional opinion?
Miss Bennett is an extremely capable governor. The media love her and she is respected by all.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. You know as well as I do she's weak. She's a pathetic little creature. She would have languished upstairs forever as a shit kicker had I not mentored her. You'll be fine.
And what is it you think you see?
What I see is you and Vera Bennett pathetically trying to get me to admit to some imagined persecution. Anything so you can move me back into protection. An attack, maybe? A ganging?
Have you been attacked? Ganged?
No.
Do you know what I see? I see you submitting yourself to this brutal ordeal to serve some twisted agenda. And I don't know what you think you can achieve other than death.
What happened to Frankie?
I can only give you 5 minutes.
I'm sure that'll be long enough for both of us.
So how are you settling back in?
I never settle, Miss Westfall. In this instance, I'm prepared to admit that I may have been outplayed, but, you know, it's a long game.
Between you and who exactly?
Tell me, how's Frankie coping?
I'm not discussing other inmates.
Must be quite a shock to the system. Still, emotional attachment always comes at a price.
And what would you know about emotional attachment?
She told you her conspiracy theory. She thinks I'm responsible for bringing her back into Wentworth.
Well, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it?
No, Frankie's always had a vivid imagination.
And she's highly intuitive.
I hope that Vera is supporting you through this trying time. You know, a good governor protects her staff, forgives their indiscretions.
All right, I think we're done here. Officer Stewart?
You know, I feel for you, Miss Westfall. You know, Frankie's right in front of you and she's just a million miles away. If it's any consolation, you know, I think Frankie's struggling too. The pain and the rage just simmering beneath the surface.
I'm busy, Joan. Find somewhere else to workshop your monologues.
Don't you worry, Miss Westfall. I'm sure your secret's safe with Vera. You look a little tired, Miss Westfall. Tough session?
What the fuck do you want?
I can see that this situation with Frankie Doyle is having a negative emotional impact. But I think you should know that you're wasting your energy. She's already moved on. Didn't take her long to trade up to a younger, more attractive model, did it?